Hi, and welcome to the Kim Sunshine Show. I have such an awesome guest today. Kim Fitzgerald is here. Oh my gosh, and she has been like 25 years helping businesses here in Flagler County. I am so excited to have you here in my studio today.
Thanks for inviting me. It's going to be fun.
You're welcome. Now, we were just talking about, 25 years ago, was before the big computer boom and computers in the home.
Computers were just starting. I was talking about in college.
Yep.
My degree was commercial art, which was fine art. And then we got into graphic design, and there were no computers. There was DOS.
Wow.
Programming.
Wow. So dot matrix. Could you imagine if your logo was in dot matrix?
So everything was, we would print out typefaces in the size and cut them out of a piece of white and wax them to a board together, take a camera, shoot it, then to a press. That's how they would print.
Oh, yep, and then put it onto the film. Because I had one of those classes in school that did that, film stuff, so we could do the squeegee.
And imagine full color was a big deal. Adding a drop shadow was a huge deal. And
it's nothing
now
today.
it's like, bing.
Yep.
Drop shadow.
Yep.
Anything.
So what's funny is while you were doing that with the graphics, now that was in college and that was probably a little bit earlier, but as computers were coming in and you could not go to Walmart or any store and buy a computer that was pre-made, you had to order. There were just a few specific ones. You had to have them custom built. Well, my ex-husband and I actually owned computer stores that custom built those computers. So yes, I've been doing newsletters since there was a newsletter. And doing graphics, so we did our graphics, and back then graphics was paint. I mean, that was before all the cool stuff started coming about.
On a floppy or a Bernoulli.
On this little disc, yes, yeah.
Way back then. Now there's the cloud. There's no limit.
Well, the cloud, and it's just amazing where technology is. We've seen so much growth in our lifetime, and I think it's good. Do you think we're at a point of where it's leveling off?
I don't think it'll ever level. It keeps each week, just keeping up with the technology, which is something as a business owner
that we have to do.
And we're not spring chickens anymore, so we have to keep up with the technology.
Hey, listen.
I'm not a spring chicken.
Listen, we can get some eggs.
So that's kind of important. I have to always, and then of course, hiring younger people who know more than you, and you always learn from them.
Yeah, but it used to be everything had to be so polished when you were doing a video, and now it's they're more receiving. The polished ones, if we just take TikTok, for example. So TikTok's a big and upcoming thing, and that's just a real great place to do some marketing and advertising right now because they just changed the algorithms for it to be local. So that's really cool. But it used to be that you had to have that high-end, highly polished video. And now they want to go back to, they just want a real person.
They don't want to be sold to.
They don't want to be sold to.
They can tell.
They want to meet the real person and the person behind it.
I kind of have that feeling with doing a brochure, and they're like, let's take some pictures of your real people. No, let's buy stock.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows it's stock. It's the smiling, beautiful people.
Right.
It's people see right through that. So
exactly. So you want to get people in action.
Real people.
Yeah, exactly.
Recognizable people.
Exactly. So now you've been doing graphics for 25 years. And this year is Curley Tail. And so how many businesses do you think you've touched in those 25 years? Because most of them are here in Flagler County, right?
Pretty much probably 90%.
90%.
Gosh, I was trying to figure out how many logos. I would say it has to be over 2,500 or 3,000 logos.
That's awesome. That is beautiful. So that's 100 a year. You probably did more than that.
Probably.
You probably did more than that, Kim. Everybody in town loves you and thinks that you're fantastic.
It's really cool, though, when I'm at the stoplight, just the other day, a van drives up, like, bing, oh, I did that logo, and then a van over there, bing, another logo. I was like, that's pretty cool.
So Julie Mathis, I mean, you were her key girl. That's how was my first introduction to you was through Julie Mathis, and with my real estate. And she was always like, "Yep, go to Kim, get everything from Kim."
She was a great brander. She knew her brand.
Oh my gosh, she was the most amazing person. And it's funny because I had probably 100 different realtors try to recruit me from my popcorn business, but Julie spoke my language because she had already had business experience. She had run several businesses over in Europe as well as here before she started her brokerage. So she kind of understood my brain a little bit because I've never been in a box, so I don't know what that looks like. like I've never been in a box. I've always been out of the box, but for other people, it seems like it's so different, but I've never had somebody tell me you can't because I've always been my own boss. So I never had anybody say, no, that's too big of an idea. No, but I can see it in people's eyes when I tell them my ideas. They're like, what?
That's how you get noticed. You know, why be like everybody else? And you're a good salesperson, so.
Well, I don't sell anything. Just like you were saying, I give people the information that if they want to purchase, they can. And I don't ever use any type of manipulation, which is so important. And you don't either. You are so humble and you are kind. And people just come to you because you get a lot of referrals because your work is absolutely amazing. And for any of our high-end logos, we send people to you. So, I mean, that is, I love being partner with you on that. And I love that you have been in this community for 25 years. So let me ask you, did you live on a dirt road 25 years ago?
I've lived in Palm Coast for 45 years.
You do not look old enough for that. 45 years, okay.
My dad was with ITT. We came down here when they developed it.
So he was a salesperson.
No, he was an accountant executive.
Oh, okay.
And there was 1,500 people in Palm Coast. And no traffic light.
Wow, could you imagine?
No, I-95, we would drive down Old Kings Road to go shopping.
There's 1,000 times more people than when she first moved here. So when you went down Old Kings, where would you shop?
Where in Flagler Beach, where the Dollar General is, by Coquina Brewery. Is that the Dollar General?
Yeah.
That used to be a little baby grocery store.
Oh, yeah.
That's where we would go.
Yeah.
And we'd have to go, or we go to St. Augustine and then there'd be the Kmart, which is no longer there.
Right. Right. Oh, Kmart. What a sad story. Like they had such an advantage, but they didn't keep up with Walmart. They didn't keep up. You got to keep up with what's going on. So what about down in Bunnell? So Bunnell is already developed.
Yes.
Were there stores here in Bunnell?
Yeah. It's not much more than there is right now, other than your little complex here. Yeah, I went to Bunnell Elementary.
Okay.
And then FPC.
Mm-hmm.
Between elementary and FPC, we went to St. Brendan's in Ormond Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Back to, my mom didn't want us into high school before it was 6th grade.
Oh, to 12th grade. So she wanted you to wait.
Yeah, you're too young to be there. So we waited, and then FPC, and then I went to Flagler College, got my BA, and then I went and got my graduates in Atlanta at the portfolio.
And you were on the cutting edge when you were doing graphic design, and it wasn't even called graphic design.
Mine was commercial art.
Commercial art. So were you always an artist? Were you always painting or drawing?
I actually wanted to be a school teacher for art. I was going to be a teacher.
I could totally see you doing that. You have such a nice demeanor. I think that you would be great at that.
But then somehow I didn't. My mom was a teacher, so I didn't go into that. But what I'm finding now is I've been doing the graphic design for so long. My art is calling me. It wants to come back.
So what's your favorite medium to you? What's your favorite?
I love photography. I love painting. Probably mostly photography right now.
So when you do paint, are you looking at canvas or paper?
Acrylics.
And acrylics, okay.
And all my stuff is...
That was my next thing. Are you doing...
Funky. It's funky. It's not like a landscape of here's the beach. It's going to be, weird stuff.
Oh, it's like Art Deco stuff.
Yeah, like Picasso and weird stuff.
Oh, Picasso that has some really amazing bright colors that are absolutely...
That's my plan when I'm done with Curly Tail is to get more into the art.
Wait a minute. Why do you have to be done to do... Like, that's your side hustle. Like, do your art... I call it a side hustle.
Because I don't have time to do my art. Because Curly Tail is a full-time job and more.
Oh, well, we love that you're doing Curly Tail, so we don't want to hear that.
A few more years.
We don't want to hear
that. If I win
the
Mega Millions, I'm out.
She's out. She's out. Wow, my goodness. So we're so happy, Kim. And is there anything else that you'd like to share with everybody?
Everyone just be kind to each other. And the world is a crazy place right now, and let's help each other. Let's refer each other. If someone's sick online, reach out. Let's just... And even if it's not a business, just anybody out there in general. You're
such a beautiful soul.
Thank you.
So let me ask you about church. Do you go to church locally?
I go to Mother Seton.
Mother Seton. Okay, so you're Catholic.
Yep.
Awesome. I was raised Catholic, and I went to St. Brendan's also, but this was in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
This was way up in Pittsburgh in my hometown. Some of my friends may see this, that we went to St. Brendan's and St. Joseph's, and that was that the what we experienced in my city of Pittsburgh was we had the steel mills, and it was very blue-collar neighborhood, and the men would go from like 8th grade straight into the steel mills and go to work. When Japan took over that steel industry, our town was devastated. I mean, absolutely devastated. So the town where we had moved to that had the Catholic schools in it used to be the Mecca. Like, that was the shopping place, and that was the place to go when the steel mills were big, because it was good money. Everybody was making great money and had a lot of money to spend. But after those closed down, it just turned into the opposite, and it was just not necessarily the better neighborhood. So we went to the Catholic school. My mom put us in Catholic schools. We went to St. Brendan's and St. Joseph's, learned a lot, and I wanted to be a nun when I was a kid.
Whoa,
I actually wanted to be a nun, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I got to be a teenager and didn't want to be a nun anymore.
I wonder why.
Well, there was this place called Frick Park where we would all go hang out on the weekends, but
That's another story.
So you've always been Catholic your whole life? Okay, awesome. And
I was Mother Seton's first girl altar server too.
oh, really? They had a girl altar server. Hear
Back
that?
then.
Well,
Now they do,
There
but-
probably weren't many to pick from either at that point,
That was just the beginning of it, for the girls to be allowed
right?
to do it. But
So the high school here, when you graduated, how many people were in your graduating
89.
class? 89 people in her graduating class. Ooh. How funny is that? That's amazing. That's awesome. Kim, it's been such a pleasure having you here on the Kim Sunshine Show today. And another person with my same first name. So that tells us something about us. We have to be a little bit bold. Our names are strong, so we have to be strong. And we get to the point. All Kims are cool.
yeah.
Thank you for watching. Have a great day.
Thank you.